Hello everyone, this is Luca. As you know, I have been banned and kicked from the Tinnitus Labs server on the allegation that I have shared Anthony's real name with GuineaGuy. I am just shocked as anybody else, given how abrupt and unexpected all of this was. I am even more shocked reading all the additional accusations that were made against me, especially considering all the time and effort I have put to make this project successful. Thanks so much to all the people who have contacted me to show their support. Since Anthony banned me from the community and blocked me everywhere without a word, I am making this video to shed some light on the facts and will give my final considerations in the end. Feel free to make your own judgment. First thing first, I don't know Anthony's real name. When Anthony was in Italy, he never showed me his passport, and I have no way of having any special information about him besides what is publicly available. Anthony states that the way someone learned about his real name is a PayPal payment. I have never had any transaction with him through PayPal, and I don't even know his PayPal address. Besides that, I never spoke with GuineaGuy. After the incident, I contacted him and got a confirmation for everyone to see. If Anthony has any evidence that I know his real name or that I spoke to GuineaGuy before yesterday, please provide it. Now, on to the allegation that, quote, despite repeated requests, I have refused to provide screenshots. Here is our entire conversation. I get contacted by Anthony at 9 a.m. asking if I have ever talked to GuineaGuy. I am asked to share my private messages instantly, which I can't do because I'm driving and not in front of the computer, but I say I will do that later as soon as I get back home. Anthony insists that I need to share private messages immediately or I become the number one suspect, which honestly I find quite annoying. This is not the first time that I am pressured to reveal private messages with other people or that I am involved against my will in some kind of drama. I find this pretty uncool. In the past, I literally had to send him pictures of me sitting at the dentist to stop him flooding me with childish messages because he wanted me to do something similar immediately. By the way, this was about the supposed Italian drama, which was also a lie, but more about that in a future video. I don't like the Gestapo-style accusations, the pressure, and the obligation to share anyone's private messages. This is not a rule of the server, and I am not Anthony's slave or something like that I have to stop everything I am doing in the middle of my morning to comply with his orders. Anyway, as you can see from the conversation, I didn't refuse to provide screenshots, as Anthony claims. I just said I'm gonna do it later when I'm not driving and I have time. However, by the time I get back home for lunch, I write to Anthony as promised, only to find myself blocked and banned without a word. I write to his Telegram, which was still open, and he blocks me there too, without replying. Additionally, it's ironic for Anthony to be worried about privacy, since he is the one who has openly threatened, in a public channel, to abuse the private information he collected from hundreds of people should anyone ever criticize him. Now, part 2. As if banning me with no evidence and no reason wasn't enough, he then proceeds to fabricate additional lies, which I am now going to address one by one. Number 1. Bad packaging. They claim that my packages had very serious issues, no protective wrapping, shipped in inappropriate boxes. He claims that the packages had little or no protective wrap or internal padding. Anybody who received the package from me knows this is a complete lie. I have packed every unit exactly in the same way that Anthony packed them when he was here, and we sent the first 10 packages together. The standard was a unit inside a bubble wrap pocket. Then 7 turns of bubble wrap and extra cardboard or paper on the side in the standard DHL box, which, by the way, was completely fine for the first 10 units and also the next 50 units, but apparently now it became part of the criticism. Anthony is criticizing the 3 DHL oversized boxes. This makes no sense, because those are the exact same boxes that we used, me and Anthony, together when we shipped the first 10 units. Also later, each time I posted pictures of shipping with the same exact boxes that he knew very well, everything was fine. Nobody ever said, Luca, use different boxes. Now, 6 months later, suddenly it became a problem. Pretty weird, no? Regarding the horrible packaging with little to no protective wrapping, the claim is even more unbelievable. 1. Here is my Amazon order history. I was ordering 20 meters of bubble wrap per week to wrap a unit that is maybe 10 centimeters wide. You do the math. If you have received a package from me and the padding was absent or poor, I invite you to come forward and say it openly. I have asked around numerous people and I did not receive a single complaint. I can ask all 60 people I have shipped to if that is necessary. When I was doing the shipping, nobody ever wrote to me saying, Luca, you packed my unit like shit. Or nobody ever told me, Luca, someone complained, use more bubble wrap in the future or change the box. Not a single complaint ever. If I'm lying, please come forward and say, Luca, this is not true. What I know is that Joanne was trying to sabotage my operations in multiple ways, including asking people to send her pictures of my packages in the hope of finding problems. I will provide evidence for this in a future video. Stay tuned. The way Anthony tries to gaslight his community is outrageous. Look at this. Danny says his box was well packaged. Anthony says that it was likely sent when he was supervising the packaging in person. Now, Anthony was here between the end of May and the beginning of June. He supervised the first 8 shippings. Out of 10 units that were received, 1 unit was burned during testing and 1 he kept it for himself. He knows perfectly who those 8 people are. Danny's package wasn't sent until well a month later than the beginning of June. There is no way Anthony does not remember this. He's just lying straight into everyone's face. Number 2. Bad testing. Anthony writes that the audio steam does not appear to have been confirmed through real listening tests. From the above sentence, you might think that the audio testing is some kind of complicated process with advanced software that I somehow skipped or was not able to do properly. This sentence is ridiculous if you know how testing worked. Let me show you what I mean. In reality, all I was asked to do is just upload the audio, connect the headphones, and listen if it goes beep beep. That's all. To clear any doubts, Anthony tells me I have to listen to the audio just by ear from a safe distance if it sounds the same. That's all. That's a test that is impossible to screw up. Load a sample, hear if it goes beep beep. End of test. Then he writes that return units showed unacceptable results when inspected on an oscilloscope. Again, let me explain what the real work was. I was trained to perform 3 kinds of tests. Then, after Anthony left and the next 10 units arrived, I was told just the basic test was enough. The basic test was connect the oscilloscope and make sure the wave had a specific shape, which is the one with the 3 square waves you see in the video. That's all. All units showed the correct shape. And, as you can see from our conversations, I was reporting even the smallest doubt I had. I will let you draw your conclusions why Anthony now wants to paint this picture of lazy, stupid Luca who can't do packing or testing. Now, when Joanne took my place, I expressly asked if I did something wrong. And Anthony said, "No, of course not. LOL. He said the real reason is because Joanne severely needs the money, which is not a mystery since she was complaining all the time about how broke she was and that 600 euros a pop plus 120 euros after every 6th week plus the fees she charges for shipping. That is definitely some money, especially for someone with no qualification. Now, here are my conclusions. All of this is nonsensical in multiple ways. Why, months and months after I have been sidelined from the project, they start with the Daniel Iger drama, then attach all these completely unrelated lies behind it to make me look bad in front of everyone? What sense does it make? It's nonsensical because everyone that was in the community in the past year knows how much effort I put into the project, writing the fact, the crypto guide, investing my own money into the oscilloscope and other equipment, doing the shipping, and try to make the community a supportive place instead of a doom and gloom hole, all with no payment. I have even donated almost 1,000 euros out of my pocket to Anthony to support his project. Why, after working so hard for months, would I suddenly and for no reason become stupid and reckless on such simple things as the packaging and testing? Isn't it strange and convenient that now, after many reported hardware problems of the device, it's suddenly all my fault? First, the device does not work because it's all your fault, because you didn't follow their protocol, which Susan Shore herself said is not necessary. Now, if the device does not work, it's my fault, because packaging and testing, everyone's fault, besides Tinnitus Labs. Make your own judgment about what is the most likely answer. Are Anthony and Joanne the victims of an army of haters and conspirators that just want to destroy their project and harm Tinnitus sufferers for unclear reasons? Did I suddenly become completely crazy and try to jeopardize a project I supported so much? Or is there something fishy about them? In similar situations, it might be useful to ask yourself, where is the money going? Everyone can look at the facts and draw their conclusions. After all the work and the passion I've put into the project to make it succeed, it's heartbreaking. I am beyond devastated being treated by Anthony like this. Most people who have been in the community know how toxic and unpleasant the whole environment has become, with the constant degrading of the community, calling everyone stupid and retarded all the time, the bullying by Anthony and Joanne, the tension and the money grabbing. Like many of you, I have been in denial for far too long about all the red flags in Tinnitus Labs. I wanted to see Anthony as a hero, and I wanted the device to work as it was advertised in the original videos. Anyway, as Anthony's former assistant, I came across much dirt, which I will show you in future videos so you can make an informed choice. Take care, everyone.